Many of you may already know that Axel Rudak-Cabana has pleaded guilty to the horrific murders of 3 young girls during a Taylor Swift-themed dance class in Southport last July. This tragic case has shaken the nation to its core. Now, growing outrage is directed at the Labour government after alarming details emerged about the perpetrator's background and missed intervention opportunities. The whole of the United Kingdom is asking tough questions, and Labour leader Keir Starmer is under intense scrutiny. Watch this compelling exchange as he faces a direct challenge about the failures that may have contributed to this terrible tragedy.
Prime Minister, it now emerges the perpetrator was known to the authorities and had been referred to prevent the anti-terrorism programme 3 times. He'd had contact with the police, the courts, the justice, the youth system and mental health services. It's a catastrophic failure of the state to protect those young girls. Do you acknowledge that if that information had come out when the riots were happening, it would have provoked further outrage by the public, so you withheld information? Is that true? And do you acknowledge that whatever happens now, whatever public inquiry you carry out, this will hugely undermine trust from the public in the authorities and your government? Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. Let me be clear. Responsibility for the disorder and the violence lies with those that perpetrated it. We need to be really clear about that. But let me address the facts as you put them to me. There has been a failure here, and I don't intend to let any institution of the state deflect from their failures, and I acknowledge that readily here. Yes, I knew the details as they were emerging. That is the usual practice in a case such as this. But you know and I know that it would not have been right to disclose those details. The only losers, if the details had been disclosed, would be the victims and the families, because it ran the risk the trial would collapse. I'm never going to do that. Never going to do that, because they deserve that justice. And only by having the rules in place can that justice be delivered, as a measure of it now has. And I wouldn't be forgiven if I had. Those are not just my choices, though it is a choice I would make. It is also the law of the land. That is why I couldn't disclose the details. It's why others couldn't disclose the details. It's why all of you as journalists couldn't disclose the details, because the same laws applied to you just as they applied to me. And it's really important that we make that clear. But the purpose of the rule is to protect the justice that the families and the victims are entitled to. I think that's the right thing. It is now right, having got to this stage, that the questions are asked and the answers are given, which is why we've taken the course of an inquiry, but also why between now and the conclusion of the inquiry, we will happily answer any questions that are put to us. But that is why, notwithstanding that, yes, I was being kept updated, of course, I did not disclose anything that would collapse the trial and defeat justice in this case. And I don't think anybody could ever have looked the victims and their families in the eye if they'd ever done that. Thank you, Beth.
This tragedy calls for reflection, accountability, and action. What do you think about the government's response and the handling of this case? Should more have been done to prevent these murders? Share your thoughts below and be part of this crucial conversation. If you found this breakdown informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates.